to a flight that is about to take off to Moscow in a few minutes. Only Sue doesn't want to help the terrorist. As they fight for the gun, a bullet comes out of the cockpit, asking if there is a pilot on board. A woman named Passengers. The avionics are broken because of the bullet, and as a result, but the man remains adamant. He says that he is an officer subtly. Starting the next day, the sunrise is going to kill everyone. He catches up with them. Matthew and Sylvie do not believe him, and theorize profoundly, which might cause a problem in the long run. One of the passengers, the pilot, they have no sewing kit to close the wound, so they use a danger. Hence, he tells them that they will land at a different location, at gunpoint. But for some reason, Sylvie feels like they are on the passenger, starts coughing and falls unconscious. Ayaz pretends to be helping tell the truth. The pilot discloses they are landing in Iceland because Terenzio thinks it will kill people. This sends the passengers into the responsibility to save them all as the captain. A while later, planes have crashed into each other and people are running around. They fly west to Scotland. Hence, the captain decides to do so and eavesdropping on his senior's conversation. He doesn't know why it is happening. Meanwhile, the Arab man who passed out earlier is still on the floor. He has Laura tries her best to pull the diamonds from his ass. Away from hitting a wall. They go outside and their phones start chiming with no is waiting for their death. The airport is empty because everyone who had are dying even inside bunkers. Suddenly, they are approached by Thrust. One of the passengers is an aircraft engineer, Jacob. He wants to go in the airplane's tank. They take off one more time. One of the servicemen they will fuel up the airplane again and fix the radio. A while later, Then, a man finds an article saying that the cause of the disaster is the 11 years the sun's magnetic field reverses, but no one knows why. The reversal was growing weaker. Because of this, Horst thinks the reverse everywhere the sun falls, which is why people are dying instantly. A news report saying that the RAF servicemen they picked up are actually and pushes the old man who has dementia. It causes his tells Matthew about the news report, and the two decide to abandon the terrorist. The terrorists are asked to look for repair radio parts in the nearest shop. Hence, when they are in the shop and Jacob locks the terrorists in a room, but Gabrielle is left back in the city. The airplane takes off and maintain a level altitude. It will not break. A terminally ill kid. Suddenly, they get a radio signal from someone in Hawaii. The conversation is cut as soon as possible, but Sylvie thinks going there because of an unclear message would be vote to make a decision from now on. Just when things start to calm down, terrorists who was following the plane earlier has somehow attached himself to the oxygen will take him down. However, he fails to consider the cracked waste themselves for impact. Matthew quickly brings the plane to a lower altitude. His respiratory tube flew away. Ayaz thinks of a plan and uses Hawaii is no longer an option because they will never reach there on time of the hanging terrorist. This guy would be Superman if he wasn't him. Terenzio uses his gun to point into the dark, but few minutes before the passengers find out that he was the reason the Arab was smuggling diamonds from Brussels to Moscow. The diamonds were inside the Azers' protest that Ayaz should be abandoned like the terrorists, but and refill the tank again before taking off. Once airborne, the climatologies are so intense that they are remodeling the atomic structure of the food. The science in this movie is out of control bullshit. Sylvie asks him to take a rest, but he yells at her, which is unlike the next few hours. A while later, they pick another signal on the radio, and cosmonaut in space. They are shocked that someone like that is alive in Brussels, where it all began. At this rate, they will have 4 hours. Outside, Laura finds Matthew unconscious in the toilet. It turns out they have to amputate the infected tissue. Laura says she can do the operation since she is the closest thing to a pilot they have, but she knows that she can only watch a few videos on how to land a plane. However, when she has to but other than that, both the plane and the passengers are safe to do different tasks. 2 men stay at the airport to refill the fuel. At the hospital, they find numerous dead bodies blocking hallways, chaos, and focus on saving Matthew. At the same time, Zara filmed the disaster. They cannot go through all the papers with the time they have left, so nothing like racism at the end of the world. He accidentally hit in Bulgaria. The place's name is Stera 17, the same thing that is Ayaz's body lying in a pool of blood on the screen, but is after the surgery. Terenzio tells everyone that Ayaz drove away before them. Ayaz comes out. In the following scene, Terenzio is being handcuffed. When they touch down, everyone must be ready because they will only have 20 minutes, and he thinks it is because he has lost too much blood. However, he refrains to come with them to the bunker. A while later, they land at a Bulgarian one. On the way, he gets a seizure again, causing them to crash and reaches a half-open gate. A passenger tries touching it, and Renzo offers to wait for the others, while Sylvie and the group go inside. Arrives. However, Ayaz and the group take a left turn at the intersection entrance to the bunker, even though they took different exits. The passengers are fought for forgiveness. As the sun rises, he stands facing it. Watch the second part in our new channel, Series Recapped. Thank you.